in listening to In Love at Ease. This is a book about a spiritual figure known as Pramukh Swami Maharaj. Specifically, it's about how he was always in love and at ease with everything. We discuss everyday spirituality with him. We are in the second chapter now, called In Love. Specifically the third part of the chapter, which is all about Parabhakti. Bhakti means loving devotion, and Parabhakti means the highest kind of loving devotion. What is that? It is the devotion you give to that source energy of this entire universe. Whatever spawned into being, many people call it God, as well as the mailman for God, the intermediary, which is your spiritual teachers growing up, those whom have been around this block before and can tell you a thing or two about that source. God and Guru, Parabhakti. Let's see here. The sadhus, the monks, had laid out his bedding so that Swamishri could ease his fatigue from a same-day journey from New York to Boston and back after a checkup for his cataracts. Swamishri was laying down in the back seat and had managed to fall asleep. The car was silent, except for the sporadic bump on the Interstate 95 South. The otherwise smooth ride was interrupted by a sudden jolt, followed by a loud banging thud. Swamishri was startled and sat up. He feared the worst. What was that sound? Did something fall? The sadhus quickly scanned the van and realized that the small compartment in which Hare Krishna Maharaj, which is a little statue he carries of his Ishta Devata, his personal form of the divine that he loves to care for. So Hare Krishna Maharaj, the compartment in which Hare Krishna Maharaj was resting, had fallen from the top tier of the van. Their voices quivered as they reported back to the Guru. Hare Krishna Maharaj fell from his carriage. The murti was turned onto its side. Swamishri's face was wrinkled with agony. It was as if he had fallen himself off. He asked the driver to pull over. He started caressing and massaging Hare Krishna Maharaj's murti image. The sadhus were troubled to see Swamishri's pain, but only Swamishri felt God's pain. He stood up and started dandavat prostrations in the van. He started with one and worked his way up to 25 dandavats in the van while dealing with his own eye and heart issues. The sadhus tried to console him, but Swamishri was lost in communication with his beloved. He kept whispering to Hare Krishna Maharaj with tears in his eyes, "Please forgive me. I hope you are not hurt. I am truly sorry for the trouble I have caused you." He poured a glass of water and asked the sadhus to prepare a tall offering with which to feed Hare Krishna Maharaj. The van restarted towards Flushing, New York, but Swamishri remained stuck in that moment. It was the kind of pain that no amount of comfort or solace could lessen, the memory of which Swamishri carried in repentance for as long as he lived. He closed his eyes and sat in meditation with a mala in his hand until they reached New York. Mala is prayer beads, like rosary beads. Swamishri fasted for the rest of the day and was not himself for a few days thereafter. to announce who is not or never has been in love. Sorry, I don't know where I got the word announce. To someone who is not or never has been in love, this may sound almost ridiculous. Why and how does a spiritual master feel so much pain upon the falling of a metallic image? And to someone who is or has been in love, this may make complete sense. How else would such a person react if a partner, child, or parent suffered such a fall? Swamishri's obsequious submission to Hare Krishna Maharaj or any other form of the divine was personified by a personal, human, love-filled bond. It was something that he wanted all of his bhaktas, devotees, to emulate, a bond with God as strong and bold as those we create with our loved ones around us. Swamishri was at Chandrakant Bhai Patel's home in Lusaka, Zambia. He had been asked to give an interview to be aired on prime-time national television. It was the first time a Hindu religious leader's interview was to be broadcast across Zambia. Yogi Trivedi Swami was helping with the cameraman as he prepared the frame for the shot, while Swamishri was patiently responding to letters from bhaktas in the adjacent room. The sadhus had meticulously arranged Swamishri's seat with a raised pedestal for Hare Krishna Maharaj nearby, as Swamishri always insisted on seating his beloved on a higher level than his own seat. Swamishri walked into the room a few minutes later and took his seat silently. His eyes were shifting between the camera and Hare Krishna Maharaj. Just as the interview was to begin, Swamishri asked Yogi Trivedi Swami to hand him Hare Krishna Maharaj. He wanted to hold him during the interview. Everyone insisted that it would be uncomfortable for him to hold Hare Krishna Maharaj for such a long time. But Swamishri had his reasons, as he revealed. When the cameraman zooms in towards me, Hare Krishna Maharaj's pedestal will disappear. I am not okay with appearing on national television without him. Please do as I say. The interview was well received throughout the country. Swamishri spoke about the harmony, equality, faith in the divine, and serving society. Later that night, during dinner, one of the sadhus could not understand how his guru could be so mindful in his love for the divine. Swamishri, you really do care for Hare Krishna Maharaj. How? Swamishri corrected the sadhu. Who am I to care for him? He looks out for us. I am, we are, because of him. Without God, we are nothing. A glimpse of Hare Krishna Maharaj would grace the millions who would see him on television. It is the only thing on my mind. All of you should learn to be as mindful about your service to him. Our bhakti, our loving devotion, is to put him before us always. Swamishri consistently put the divine before himself. It was the sign of a person truly in love. Love can fade or settle into a place of complacency and comfort over time, but Swamishri's love for the divine remained vibrant and youthful as the years passed. Indian-American community leaders set up a meeting between Swamishri and former President Bill Clinton in Miami, Florida, in the summer of 2000. Swamishri had placed Hare Krishna Maharaj at the center of the large table in the room. The community leaders seated on either side of the table had agreed on a set agenda to discuss details of Swamishri's accomplishments and BAPS's, his organization's social and humanitarian contributions. But Swamishri had his own plans. He turned to Amrutnananda Swami and asked him to introduce Hare Krishna Maharaj at the start of the meeting. Amrutnanda Swami could tell that the other people in the room wanted to know about the social and humanitarian aspects first. He did not know what to begin with and fell silent. Swamishri gently squeezed his hand and said, "Translate what I say to the Honorable President." Swamishri turned to President Clinton and took charge of the conversation. This murti, divine image of Bhagwan Swaminarayan's first spiritual successor, Gunatitanand Swami. Oh, my apologies, I skipped a sentence. This murti of Bhagwan Swaminarayan is almost 200 years old. It was first worshipped by Bhagwan Swaminarayan's first spiritual successor, Gunatitanand Swami. It was worshipped by my guru, Yogi Maharaj. I do not go anywhere or do anything without him. He is the source of my energy and ability to serve. I follow him. He leads me everywhere. The former president fixed his gaze on the murti at the center of the table for the next minute before turning back to face Swamishri. The only other time Swamishri diverted the conversation was to speak about bhakti, loving devotion to God again. He handed President Clinton a mala. I think I have one nearby, I can show you. One perhaps not so different than this mala, which is made of tulasi wood. So, he handed President Clinton a mala. He showed him how to turn the beads while affirming any name or form of the divine dear to him. Remembering the divine will bring you shanti, peace, Swamishri said. For Swamishri, remembering and submitting to God was the most important message he wanted to share with anyone, whether it be the former American president, the nation of Zambia, or his young sadhus. He was mindful of spreading a message of faith and submission, and not necessarily of Hindu or Swaminarayan theology. This may have been why his lessons of love and spirituality spoke to such a wide array of followers. Swamishri's Parabhakti, highest kind of loving devotion, peaked when articulated through worship and puja. He did not just serve and love his beloved. He made it a point to pray to, worship, and sing to the divine. Many modern views of spirituality scoff at daily forms of ritual worship such as puja, prarthana, bhajan, kirtan, arti, thal, dandavat, mala, and katha. Swamishri saw these as a means to maintain a constant relationship and conversation with the divine. This ongoing conversation with the divine was at the core of his spirituality. This continuous communion with God is what set him apart from those around him. He emphasized the use of these spiritual tools to develop a relationship with the divine, which in turn would blossom into love and later culminate into Parabhakti, the highest kind of loving devotion. And so, we'll pause our reading of In Love at Ease there for now. Thank you for listening. And hello, Alice. Hello, Feline. Good evening, Noor. Thank you, Auntie. Now I have a question for all of you. How are you doing? That's all I'd like to know. And while you are thinking of that, I would like to extend my appreciation to those who sent a gift whilst I read, which appears to be many, which is never expected. But do allow me the honor of extending my gratitude back to you now. Amber, thank you for your heart me and pair of team bracelets. Radhe Radhe. Couple of nomads. You've been feeling sad lately, maybe overwhelmed even. That's understandable. Do take care of yourself. Make sure to understimulate when you need it. And hello, creature. Thank you for your heart me. Hari Om Tat Sat. You're feeling at ease and content, shares Alice. Good, good.